Hi students, welcome to my channel Thoughts of Physics.
In the video series of moving charges and magnetism, in this class, I am going to explain the motion of a charged particle in a magnetic field. So when a charged particle is moving in the magnetic field, then we are going to discuss the path of the charged particle in different cases. Now let us consider a particle of mass m, charge q and velocity v is moving in an uniform magnetic field B bar. Now the charged particle experience force in the magnetic field that is given by the magnetic force on the charged particle F bar is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar. So this is the cross product of V bar and B bar. V bar is the velocity of the charged particle and B bar is the magnetic field. Q is the charge. Now the magnitude of this force F is equal to QVB sin theta, because V bar cross B bar, this is a cross product or vector product. So the expansion of this is VB sin theta into n cap. So that n cap gives the direction of this force. Generally, the direction of this force in the vector product can be determined by using right hand thumb rule or right hand screw rule. Now the magnitude of this force is given by F is equal to QVB sin theta. Here theta is the angle between V bar and B bar. Theta is the angle between V bar and B bar. Now here let us discuss different cases. When V bar is perpendicular to B bar. Here theta is angle between V bar and B bar. Now here we are discussing that first case when V bar is perpendicular to B bar. That means V bar and B bar both are perpendicular to each other and the angle between V bar and B bar is 90 degrees. In that case, the magnetic force, whatever the magnetic force here we have same, that acts as centripetal force and which produces the circular motion perpendicular to the magnetic field. Due to the circular motion, the particle will describe a circle. Why it produces the circular motion means, so now to find the direction of this force, we can use right hand thumb rule. According to the right hand thumb rule, this F bar is perpendicular to both V bar and B bar. That is, F bar is perpendicular to V bar and F bar is perpendicular to B bar also. That means if V bar and B bar are in the plane and F bar is perpendicular to the plane, according to the right hand thumb rule, so the F bar, it acts towards the center of this circular path. So as shown in the figure, this is the circular path described by the charged particle in the magnetic field. This is the magnetic field. The cross represents the magnetic field into the paper, into the board. Now here, if you observe this, this is the tangent. The tangent gives the direction of velocity at that particular point. Now already we have seen from the formula, the force is perpendicular to V bar and perpendicular to B bar also. Now the force should be at any point, the force should be perpendicular to V bar and all the points. So that force acts towards the center. That's why this force acts as centripetal force. Due to the centripetal force, it produces a circular motion and the charged particle describes a circle. So this is the case when the V bar and B bar are perpendicular to each other. In that case, F is the QVB sin theta. The magnitude of the force is F is equal to QVB sin theta. Now if we take the theta is 90 degrees. When V bar and B bar perpendicular to each other, theta is 90 degrees. So sin 90 is 1. That magnetic force experienced by the charge when V bar and B bar are perpendicular to each other, that is F is equal to QVB. So this force acts as centripetal force. So as we know, the formula of centripetal force is mv square by r, where m is the mass of the charged particle V is the velocity of the charged particle and R is the radius of this force provides this centripetal force. Now we can equate these two because this force provides this centripetal force. So the centripetal force mv square by R is equal to qvb. Now both sides v get cancelled and here we left with 1v. Now finally from this, so the radius of the circular path R is equal to, so that is mv by qb. This is the radius of the circular path. When the particle describes in a circular path, the radius of the circular path can be determined by using this formula. R is equal to mv by qb, where m is the mass of the charged particle, v is the velocity, and q charge, and b is the magnetic field. Now from this expression we can say that larger the momentum, that means m into v, the product of mass and velocity is the momentum. So as larger the momentum, that means as larger the velocity, mass is constant. As larger the velocity, directly proportional. The radius is directly proportional to velocity. That means as larger the momentum, the larger the radius of the circular path. And as stronger the magnetic field. So the radius is inversely proportional to magnetic field. As stronger the magnetic field, the radius of the circular path is smaller. Now, so if omega is the angular frequency, omega is the angular frequency of the revolution of the charged particle, we know the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. That is v is equal to r omega. R is the radius. So v is the linear velocity, omega is the angular velocity or angular frequency. Now from this, omega is equal to v by r. Omega is equal to v by r. That is v by r. R is the radius of the circular path. We can write this expression, the radius of the circular path mv by qb. Now v get cancelled. The omega, that is the angular velocity, omega is equal to, so this qb goes to numerator, it gives qb by m. Omega is equal to qb by m. We know omega is equal to 2 pi nu. Omega is equal to 2 pi nu, where nu is the frequency. Omega is the angular frequency, nu is the frequency. So omega can be written as 2 pi nu. Actually omega is equal to 2 pi by capital T. Capital T is the time period. Now reciprocal of the time period is frequency. Now omega can be written as 2 pi nu is equal to qb by m. From this we can find the frequency nu is equal to, if you take this 2 pi this side, it gives frequency qb by 2 pi m. This is the expression for frequency of the revolving charged particle when the particle moving along the circumference of the circular path. Now from this, the time period is reciprocal of the frequency. Now time period is reciprocal of this, that is 2 pi m by qb. This is the time period of the revolution of the charged particle. Now this is the case what we have discussed, that v bar is perpendicular to b bar. When? So here theta is the angle between v bar and b bar. If theta is 90, this is the case what we have observed. That means when the charged particle moving perpendicular to the magnetic field. Theta is 90 means when the charged particle moving perpendicular to the magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force that acts as centripetal force. The charged particle describes a circular path. That means finally in this case we can conclude that when the charged particle moving perpendicular to the magnetic field, the charged particle moves in the circular path. That is the first case. So now second case, let us discuss. If v bar is not perpendicular to b bar, that means the charged particle not moving perpendicular to magnetic field. For example, if it is making some angle theta, it is not perpendicular to magnetic field. In that case, how the charged particle moves? So let us see this figure. Now in this figure, this v is the velocity of the charged particle. So this lines gives the magnetic field direction. Now the velocity of the charged particle is not perpendicular to the magnetic field direction. It is making an angle theta. So the velocity making an angle theta, it is not perpendicular to the magnetic field. In that case, the v bar can be resolved into two components. The velocity can be resolved into two components. One component is vp bar and another component is vn bar. So Vp bar is the component of velocity in the direction of magnetic field. So if you see the direction of Vp bar, which is in the same direction of magnetic field, and Vn bar is the component of velocity in the perpendicular direction of magnetic field. So velocity can be resolved into two components. One is Vp bar, another one is Vn bar. Now Vp bar remains unchanged because in the direction of magnetic field, the motion of the particle is unaffected. In the direction of magnetic field, when the particle is moving in the direction of magnetic field, its motion is unaffected. It moves in the same direction only. So that means Vp bar remains unchanged. The particle moves along B bar direction, the magnetic field direction. And another component is Vn bar. So this Vn bar is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Already we have discussed that when the velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, when the component of velocity here, it is perpendicular to magnetic field. Due to the perpendicular component, what happened? There will be some circular motion which is produced. Due to that, the particle describes a circular path. That means here two components are present. One is Vp bar, another one is Vn bar, because V bar is making an angle theta with the V bar. So it can be resolved into components. So due to Vp bar, it remains unchanged. That means the particle moves in the direction of magnetic field, that is straight. And due to Vn bar, which is perpendicular to magnetic field, and due to Vn bar, it moves in the circular path. That means Vn bar direction keeps changing its direction perpendicular to the magnetic field. So the particle has a circular motion in a plane perpendicular to magnetic field. So due to that, due to this component, due to one component, it moves straight in the direction of magnetic field. Due to Vn bar component, it moves in the circular path. That's why totally as a result, the path of the charged particle, it becomes helical path. That means the motion of the particle is helical motion. This is called helical path. Now in this case, now we have to define what is pitch. So the pitch means the distance moved along the magnetic field in one rotation is called pitch. The distance moved along the magnetic field. So this is the direction of magnetic field, and the distance moved along the magnetic field in one rotation. So now for example, from this point to this point, it is a one complete rotation. So now this distance is called pitch. The distance moved in the direction of magnetic field in one rotation is called pitch. Whatever we have shown here, this is the pitch. So actually pitch is nothing but distance. The distance is the product of velocity and time. So now Vp, that is the velocity of the particle, and capital T is the time period. One complete rotation means it takes time period capital T. So Vp and time period, already we have or the expression for time period 2 pi m by qb. So that expression we have substituted here, 2 pi m by qp into Vp. Vp is the velocity of the charged particle and 2 pi m by qb is the time period. So that gives the expression for the pitch. And the radius of the circular motion is called the radius of helix. Here if we consider, so the particle undergoes two types of motion. One due to Vp bar in the direction of magnetic field, and due to Vn bar it moves in the circular path. So while it is moving in the circular path, it has some radius here. The r is the radius. So this is called the radius of the helix because it is the helical path. That radius of the circular motion is called the radius of the helix. This is about the motion of a charged particle in the magnetic field. So finally we can conclude that, so whenever the velocity is perpendicular to V bar, the charged particle is moving in a direction perpendicular to V bar, then the charged particle describes a circular path. And if the charged particle is moving at an angle theta other than 90 degrees, then the charged particle moves in the helical path. Thank you.